Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grave Matters. Unfortunately, Creepy Clown Girl will not be with us for this month, so me and Filia Noctis will be taking over until she comes back. And welcome, Filia Noctis.
Thank you, Sleeping Wendigo. Um, yeah, just send your prayers for Cece's family, and hopefully we will see her back sooner rather than later. Um, I see we got some people in the chat room real quick. Let's see. Click that
I
over
see.
there.
I see the Scary Show. Hello, Scary.
Hey,
I
scary.
I see
Oh,
Duchess
go
of
ahead.
Darkness. I see Duchess of Darkness. I see.
I see Josie Kitty.
Hello, Josie. I see Director. Hello, Director.
Hey, director. Oh, we have the Panic Within.
Hey.
Hello.
Ooh,
Ooh.
wait, that's you.
That is me.
Speaking of
Um,
Panic Within, we have
Summon.
the Queen Panic tonight with us.
Hello.
Hello.
So
So
we have a couple of
before, before we
announcements to make. Oh,
yep,
we were going to do the same thing. We have a couple of announcements to make first before we start the questioning.
we would like to congratulate Vidith22 with 75,000 subscribers. Congratulations,
How
Vidith.
awesome is that? I
We
mean,
have that is awesome.
it is.
We have As the Raven Dreams with 20,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Raven.
By the way, as the Raven Dreams is the man behind the yellow line.
Yes, he is.
So, yes, congratulations, Raven. Um, we also have Jay Nightmares with 10,000 subscribers.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We
And go ahead.
we have Gemini Reads with 400 subscribers. Congratulations, Gemini.
Yay. And we also have Horror on the Rocks with 1,000 subscribers. So a lot of
And
uh,
and
and
the last person on here is Cozy Horror with 400 subscribers. Congratulations to all of you.
yay! Congratulations! I didn't see that one.
You're
I
fine.
missed that one. So that's awesome. So many people are meeting goals that are just, awesome, awesome. So, like I said, we have Queen of Panic with us. Hello, dear. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you.
Would you like to start by telling us about your channel and how you came to be the Queen of Panic?
Okay. So, like we just talked about, my channel is called The Panic Within. I go by the Queen of Panic. My husband is also kind of behind the scenes. He goes by the King of Panic. And my channel is a little bit of kind of like whatever I want it to be. So it started off as I'm obsessed with true crime. I wanted to do something along the lines of that, but I also like to write. So it started where I was writing all of my information or all of my stories down. And I do still write stories, but I will be honest. Thankfully, Furberry's Fables taught me a little bit about the creepy pasta wiki because I didn't know anything about it. And it does help a little bit to have some stories that you can find instead of writing all of them. I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
So I am doing that. I will be doing more true crime stuff. I actually have a friend who she's going to be the behind the scenes. She's going to get all the information, write the script, just because it does help a little bit because I don't have a whole lot of time to go into like the depth that I would want to in true crime. So she's going to get credited and everything, but she wants me to read it and go through it with my viewers. So I'm just waiting for her to be ready for the true crime aspect of it. But it started as just kind of like a thought. I was obsessed with Your Maker and Let's Read, and I worked in a bakery. I really wanted to make a channel and do something that was meaningful, because I started off actually as a story time channel and it was terrible, and I deleted it. I deleted everything because it was kind of, honestly, it was cringy. So I was like, I hate this. And that's why writing stories and this kind of stuff works so well for me, because it's storytelling. It's just not that. So so I wanted to do stuff like that, and I was baking my cakes at my bakery job and thought about everything I wanted to do, and I put everything for the Panic Within together for a year before I actually went
She has a
live
lizard.
on New Year's, and I was prepared. So
Who has it? Or that's a lizard. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. I've
it's
just been
okay.
informed that the cat has a lizard.
Oh my
The cat that never goes outside has a lizard.
I came in with a lizard.
No, she never goes outside.
Oh, so that the lizard was in the house.
Oh, so yes, someone brought the lizard in the house.
Oh no.
Oh my god! And she's more of a dog than a cat. She has no balance. She falls off things. About a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, she was on the couch and she wanted to jump onto the coffee table. You know, coffee tables are what, 2 feet away from the couch usually? Say that, about 2 feet.
Yeah.
She missed and hit the edge of the coffee table in the middle of her chest.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, she's almost that long. She could probably just stretched and made, you know, because she's a big girl. But yeah, she hit the hit the table. You know, she falls off the back of the couch when she's laying up there. Yeah, just. But if anything gets in the house, she's usually the one that gets it. Mice, lizards, because I live out in the desert. You know, there's fields all around me and stuff. So other cats bring it in the house and then she dispatches them. Very strange. But anyway, enough about me and my little soap opera. So, you like the true crime, which I get, that's really fun. Do you have a specific genre of horror that you like better than, you know, others, or are you pretty across the board?
Pretty across the board, but I do like the truer stuff more, only because I love a good ghost story, which I'm not saying is not true. I do believe in the paranormal, but like I love a good like dramatized like, you know, story, but the true stuff freaks me out more, and I like to get like scared, I guess, like from real stuff.
Yeah.
So like serial killers, I find them interesting. I find I think we talked on the last little interview we did, we talked about how I like I will not like I find it interesting, like stalkers or like the crazy girlfriends, because it's like, I don't know, or the crazy spouses rather, not just girlfriends, like, but you know, that kind of stuff, because it's real and it freaks me out more. So I like to listen to like my favorite YouTuber, one of them is Your Maker, because of all the 911 like real horror stuff that you hear happen and you're like, oh my gosh, this is real life. So that's the kind of thing I like.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Wendigo, do you have any questions?
Oh,
fun fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to add to the police phone calls. Some police stations will use real life phone calls to train people on how to respond to certain situations.
I think they should. I think that's a great idea, because you need the real life stuff to actually know how to handle those things.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So they do use the phone calls that they record to train new people on how to respond. Like these are from people that have done it. Here's how you should respond to so and so, or what's going on. I just thought that was interesting that they do that.
I agree.
Right. It's a good way to do it. Just in case anybody noticed, my Christine is here. My Chris.
Hello.
She's in the room. She's my Chris.
So Queen.
I know that's silly, but
no, I don't think it's silly. A couple of my friends are gonna stop in too in a little bit.
Oh,
So
fun!
One of my best
Awesome.
friends said she's gonna eat and then she's gonna be commenting. So
Since
Well, that's fine if she feeds everybody.
she cooks amazingly, so she should feed everybody.
So, since starting your channel and where it is now, where do you see your channel going in the future?
Oh my gosh, I am so proud of my channel. So I'm gonna have like, I guess, like a proud moment, but I don't mean to be like braggy. All right. But I tell everybody this. I started this not knowing at all what I was doing. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know even how to set up my recording studio. My friend helped me. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to work Discord. I still kind of don't know how to work Discord if we're honest, but the fact that I didn't know how to edit, and I edit all of my stuff now because I had an editor before and it just didn't work out. It's fine. It was kind of like a left on good terms. It was just he was not having the same like the vision that I had, and he was giving me stuff late, and that's okay. It just didn't work. Everything's fine with us. But I had to learn how to edit everything, and I'm so proud of it. And just from where it's been before I knew what I was doing to now, the channel has grown a lot thanks to the narrators that have helped me, and also my collabs and everything. And I'm so proud of it, and I genuinely think that the way it's growing, I mean, I don't really know what I'm talking about, so maybe it's growing really slow. I have no idea, but it feels fast to me. And because it's growing so fast, I only started on New Year's, and I'm already doing so well with my edits and stuff. I would love to make it like my full-time, everybody, like, I don't know. I would love to be Let's Read, honestly. Like in that kind of like level of like how well
Oh,
he's doing
yeah.
on his channel. Yeah. That would be amazing. And I see
Yeah,
it going
he can
very
pay
far.
people to edit for him.
And oh, I can't wait till that happens. Because I've got a lot of things I
Right?
want to do. Yeah. So we were actually talking a little
Yeah.
bit about, identity and stuff. So I actually want to eventually make like a gaming channel. I want it to be the Panic Within is going to be my brand, and it's going to branch out though. It's not just going to be the horror readings. I want to do horror games and like reaction videos to like, I don't know, TikToks or whatever. It doesn't, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet because that's a while from now. But eventually I would like it to be a whole brand that I can do a bunch of things with, because my husband likes to say I'm like Goth Barbie because I want to do everything. A little bit of everything. So because of that,
There's
I'm just
nothing
like,
wrong with that.
yeah, he's just like, you just want to do all of these things. Like, I'm like, yeah, I do. As many things as I can do before I die, I want to do them.
Well, take a page from like Mr. Beast and what is that guy's name? Jay something. Their channels have evolved since they started. So I think it's a great idea.
And I still want to do this. Like, this channel is going to be what this is, but I would like to have like a second channel for like the gaming and everything. And I think that eventually, once I'm ready to put my face and everything, that's where I'll like do that. I'll be in those videos, I think. I don't know though. I have no idea. That's a long time from now. I could change my mind. I do a lot.
So, did you watch scary movies as a child?
I did. Yes.
And do you remember what the first one was?
I don't know. I think it was probably one of the Halloween movies. My dad is obsessed, so I would think it was probably something to do with that, because he was always watching them. But we watched a lot of horror movies as a child. My dad and I actually, we were the ones that were not scared, and I have a sister. So my sister was the one that was like afraid. So it would be me, my uncle, my sister, and my dad. And my dad and me would be looking at the TV or whatever, like, this isn't scary. And we'd look over at my uncle and my sister, and they'd be the ones hiding under the blankets. So we've seen a lot of them. So I maybe Resident Evil. I don't think so though. I don't know.
Is there an author, a director, a character, something that you feel like helped guide you?
You said they helped me what?
Into helped guide you? Yeah.
For like in reference to my channel?
Right. Yes. I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Okay. It's okay. Not in my channel. No. I actually have a friend. She's on Twitter. I forget what her name on Twitter is, but it's Lola something, and she actually created all of my channel art. So some of it's based on, like, it doesn't look like me, but it's based on me, and then like some of it's based on like my husband. Some of it's like her own like creepy renditions of it. So they're kind of based on us rather than like a character. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, and then me and Silver were talking about like backstories, like giving lore to my channel. And I haven't made the lore yet, but I am interested in doing that. So when that happens, I will let you guys know.
That would be awesome. Yeah, so, I think a lot of people do have the lore.
Yeah,
I think it makes it a little bit more fun.
That's what he said. He was like, the fans love it. Like, the people that are watching love it, so.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to your narration style and delivery, what would you say are your biggest strengths and weaknesses?
So my strengths, I would say, and this is more so judging off of what other people tell me. My strengths are my voice acting, I think, because people really like my voice, like people in the community. There's a lot of collabs that people ask me to do because of my voice acting, and I think I'm really honored. I think it's awesome because I actually did not do any kind of voice acting before I started my channel, aside from like I was in high school drama class and like Glee Club. So I'm really proud of that. People are like excited, and I'm like, yay, that's exciting for me too. And then my weaknesses, I would say, I'm not sure if this is like, I guess in reference to specifically my voice acting style, but I would like to be more, oh no, I guess it is. I would like to be more consistent. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So in the beginning of my channel, if you listen, I had more of like drawn out vowels, and I didn't really talk like myself. I had a specific person that I was thinking of. I think it was Blue Spooky actually, but I don't remember off top because you have me on the spot. But somebody, I was thinking of the way that they did it, and I was like, wow, I kind of really like that. It makes them stand out. And so I started like that, but some people, like in my friend group rather, they found it kind of annoying. So I started to change it to where I was in like a happy medium. And then eventually, honestly, I use my normal voice now. So it's changed a lot. So I think it's going to be consistent from here on out. But right now, it's like kind of all over the place.
Well, that's a lot less stress.
Yeah. Trying to pick like certain voices, it's just mine now.
Oh, that's funny. So you're new to the community. You've only been here around 6 months or so, give or take. So far, what's your favorite part of being in the community?
The sense of community, honestly. Like, I absolutely love everybody that I've worked with. Everyone is so much fun to work with. They're always wanting to help, and I really appreciate that. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing when I started. And a lot of the ways that my channel has grown has 100% been because of the friends that I've made in the community. Also, I wouldn't even have the community if it wasn't for Furberry's Fables found me, and put me in all the group chats and added me to stuff on Twitter. And that's how I ended up finding like Silver, who helped me with things, and everyone else that I collabed with is really from Furberries, like putting me into that. And then I also have a friend that I met through, he's also on here, but I met him on Instagram, and his name is It's Lance's Creepy Readings. And if it wasn't for them, I really wouldn't have found anyone. I would just be here.
Lance is a good dude.
Yeah.
Furberries is a good dude too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they both
Furberries is a really good dude.
Yeah, and I love, like, they used to check, they still do, but they check up on me, and they're like, hey, how are you doing? And it really feels like a big family, and I really love that about the community.
Cool. Wendigo?
So, for new or upcoming narrators, what is some strong advice that you could offer to help them succeed?
Honestly, listen to your peers. Like I said before, a lot of things that I was doing wrong, like I had mentioned in the other podcast that I was forgetting to put thumbnails up, something so simple, and Silver was like, hey, you should do this. And here we are. So just listen to your peers. Don't ever think that you're too like good for advice, because there's always room to grow. And also be yourself as well, because there is like some advice. I don't always take it, of course, because I want my channel to be my own. So I don't want to do everything specific by what other people are saying, but absolutely listen to what they're saying and take it into account and see how you feel about it, but while having an open mind about it.
Yeah.
Oh, and put out lots of content. Really put your all into it, you know?
Duchess of Darkness said, it has been great working with you, Panic.
I absolutely love Duchess of Darkness. We work together all the time. There's quite a few ladies that I'm so happy to work with, because honestly, when I first started, I thought it would be like hard to find other female narrators, and I'm so pleased to find that it is not. And Duchess is always super down to help me, and I love working with her. And I agree. I also love working with you, Duchess.
Yeah,
when I first started, there were not very many female narrators. But a couple of people, a couple of really big names, posted some all-female collaborations. Dr. Creepin posted an all-female collaboration on his channel, which is not small. And actually, I think he might have done two. But I love it to see all of the new up-and-coming females.
I agree.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, when I was working at the bakery, I really never ran into like a female narrator. I would have my headphones in for hours. Like I'd be at work for 8 hours, give or take, every day, and I would have my headphones in for the whole 8 hours, you know, just doing my stuff. And I would really only run into male narrators. So when I joined the community and I found that there are quite a few, I was just like, heck yeah, that's exciting, because I didn't think that there were many at all.
There's quite a few now than what there were a few years ago, I would say.
Yeah, that's good. I actually have a story up. It's called A Girls' Night, and then that's an all-female narration that we did of a creepypasta.
Oh, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can find that and put a link to it.
The channel, you want me to put it
Too
on?
bad.
Let me see if I can
yeah.
I got you.
So, while we're waiting on Filia to do that, do you believe in the paranormal? And if so, do you have any experiences you would like to tell us about?
So I do. Give me 1 second. I'm pasting that that in the chat right now. Just 1 second. I'm bad at multitasking.
You're fine.
It didn't pop up as a link, but it's there. I don't know if I did it wrong. But okay, so
That's fine.
for my
No, you're just not a
oh, so it just didn't come up like that.
Only
Right.
mods can put links in
Oh,
the chat.
well, I tried. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
So for that paranormal, so I have a couple that aren't like super crazy. I do 100% believe in the paranormal, and I've seen a lot of things happen to other people, but no matter how much I want to hear or see some cool stuff, it doesn't really happen to me, probably because I want it so bad. So one day, my best friend stayed the night over at my house. It was when I was working at the bakery. She was like, you know what? With my schedule right now, it would be easier if I just stay at your house because then we can get up together and you can make sure I'm awake. And she was taking me to work because our car had broken down. And I woke her up to go and like get ready because I was almost finished and we were gonna go and get coffee and stuff before work. And she was walking out. She was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette on your porch." And the way my house was set up, I'm in like, okay, so you go into my house and it goes to the porch. On the porch, there's a door that goes into my bedroom. And then if you go through the porch, it goes to the living room. And then off to the left is like the bathroom. There's a bedroom there. And that was my brother's room at the time. And then right across, there's another bedroom and my makeup area where I would like get ready for the day. And I was in there because I was getting ready. And she's like, "I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So she goes to go through past my bedroom and off to like out of the porch and stuff. And she stopped dead in her tracks and she goes, "Hey, did you say something?" Or no, she said, "Hey, is someone else here?" And I was like, "No, it's just you and me." And like my husband was there, but I think he was either sleeping or leaving for work also. So he wasn't even in the room that she was talking about. Plus it was a female's voice. It wasn't like my voice or not my husband's voice. And she goes, "Well, I just heard somebody say, 'Hey, Kristen, can you come here for a second?'" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "In your bedroom, that's where I heard it and it sounded like you." She's like, "That's really weird because I thought you said it and that's why I asked, but then I realized you were too far away to say it." And I'm like, no one is there." But the weird part is you have to know like the backstory of the house because in that room, it used to be my husband's parents' house. His dad was sleeping in that room at one point with his mom next to him, and she got grabbed by the shirt and yanked out of bed before. They had a situation where her like after his dad had passed, his stepdad was in there. He had been prescribed pills because he had a bad back. He had surgery back in like I think he said it was like in like the 60s or the 70s, so it was like a botched job. So he's in a lot of pain all the time. He had medication, and they heard like a shake of the pill bottle in there. There's been like footsteps that I've heard. One time, my husband, when his family actually lived there, we were just dating at the time. We lived in the basement, and it was a big basement. We had our own little area. There's a bathroom down there. It was like an apartment essentially, and we were down there. And his parents went to go camping, and while they're out camping, I'm like, "Hey, did they get home early? Because I'm hearing footsteps." And I wake him up. I'm like, "Hey, is your mom home?" And he's like, "No, they're in like Kentucky or something." And we live in Indiana. So he's like, "No, they're nowhere near where we live." And he was just like, why do you ask?" And I was like, "There's footsteps." And he listened for a second and heard them too. So he went upstairs and checked the whole house, nothing. And then there's another really cool one. This one's actually really cool, but it's not something that ever happened to me. I didn't hear it. I mean, I guess it technically happened to me, but we went to we do urban exploration a lot. Something we really enjoy doing. And we went to this really high profile graveyard in the city by where we live. And so basically, we go and there's a police officer in the entryway, and you're not supposed to go in there. He's not like watching the graveyard, he's looking for people that are speeding, but he's blocking the entry so we can't go in. So we go and we park in like a neighborhood down the street a little, and we can easily walk to it, not a problem. But where we park, there's like an entry to the forest that's right next to it. And we're like, we'll just go in here and we'll try to get to like the graveyard. We'll find our way, no big deal. And we did, but the creepy part is we took so many twists and so many turns and ended up at the front gates of like in this dead center of the front gates. So we already knew it was going to be weird because what the heck, we were lost in a forest for 20 minutes trying to go through there, and we ended up at the front gates, and we thought that was crazy. But then as we were leaving, we go through the whole graveyard, and we just are going to go out the front gate. But we're like, you know what? We got to be careful because the police might be there still. And as we're walking, we do see the lights, but we aren't sure if they're like parked on the side of the road or if it's the same police officer. So me and my husband are like, you guys be quiet, you know, so we don't get arrested because, you know, it's illegal. And we're walking through, and for no reason, my husband was like irate. Like, I don't know if you guys believe in like energies really like making you angry or messing with your mood, but that's what was happening. And we didn't know that at the time, but I was trying to calm him down and I was really irritated too. And we're walking through, and we hear the sound of footsteps running towards us. And it is just our friends. Our friends are just booking it though past us. And they said that they heard the jingle of keys and they heard footsteps running towards them. But when I tell you this graveyard was empty and no one was there, and when we hid in the bushes, no one was there chasing them, it was the creepiest thing. And then once we got out of the graveyard, me and my husband were no longer irritated and no longer angry. We were just angry in the graveyard for that moment. It was awesome. I would do it again. 10 out of 10. 100%.
I've got quite a few, but I'll do it again.
Oh, 100%. I love urban exploration. We actually call it spooky hunting, not urban exploration, because we go somewhere that looks haunted and we just go.
There's a couple of urban explorers I watch on YouTube, and they do some. They've investigated some very weird places, and some of them have had some weird stuff happen in their videos.
Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah.
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 Yep. You see those. Sometimes we pretend that it wasn't there. All depends on what color eyes it has, you know. If it's got the red eyes, you just, nah, it's not there.
So my husband has a really creepy like red eye story. So his dad, like I said, he passed away when he was, I think he said he was like 10 or 12, like in between around that time. And when he was older, he walked through after his dad had passed, because he passed in the house that they lived in. And he looked into the bathroom of that same house that I told you guys I heard, like, we heard that voice and like footsteps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked into the bathroom, and his dad was sitting on the edge of the tub with red eyes. And he was like, and yeah, he's seen some crazy stuff. I'm like, I was like, your stories are insane, and I'm sorry that happened to you.
You know, he ought to write those down, and you guys can narrate them.
I've been trying to get him to. So when there's actually a couple that I wrote out on my channel in his own word, like in my words for him, because he keeps putting it off, and I'm like, I need to know. So I do it myself. I think it would be better if he did it though, because it would be from his own words and like his scared mind at the moment, you know?
Yeah. It's always better when it comes from the person.
Yeah, because they're the one that was like terrified. So you would have that emotion in the writing, you know?
Exactly. And in the narrating.
Exactly.
It's just so much more personal. And I think when I did a couple of real stories, I felt like people connected to it more.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, kind of.
Oops, sorry.
No, you go ahead first.
No, I was just gonna say that's why I like to do Reddit stories, because that's one of my favorite narration story subreddit like to read from. And I keep bringing him up, but Let's Read a lot with this, like the real true horror stories from Reddit. And it's like I said, it's the real things for me, like the crazy things that you hear people do. I'm like, oh my goodness, you did what?
What were you thinking?
Yeah. Right? Like, what?
Why did you get back in there? Don't go back in there.
But I do agree that someone who experienced it, they should be the ones to tell the story unless they are able to. Like, I am planning on making a video of some of the things I've experienced. One of the creepiest things I've ever experienced happened in the house I'm at now.
Oh, no.
Where when I was young and growing up in this house, I would wake up at 3 in the morning, And so I would go into the living room, which is connected to the kitchen, to get a drink of water. Well, as I'm going into the kitchen, there are these two giant windows in the living room that are facing the kitchen area. And outside the windows, I would hear something whistling for a good 3 minutes straight. And it
Time
wasn't
to go.
and it
Um,
and it wasn't making a tune, and it wasn't making any kind of music with it. It was just a straight on whistle, like it was coming from someone right outside the windows.
Time to go. You gotta go.
And
yeah, no. Go into a room that has no windows or has curtains over the windows.
Ugh.
Hide in the
Even worse to
closet.
hear louder. Oh.
see, it happened for about 3 months, and then it randomly stopped and never happened again. And I've been in this house since I was like 12 years old, and I'm 23 now.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying. But I guess
Yeah.
you're used to it, honestly. You're probably like, eh.
Well, when I was a
It's not
kid,
hurt me.
when I was a kid and when it was happening, I'm like, no, I don't like this.
You're like, "Uh-uh."
But if I was to hear it again, I probably would just ignore it because it's never done anything besides whistle. And whatever it was outside the house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, have you watched a horror movie? They can come in anyways.
Right.
They're not like vampires.
Right. They don't need to be invited, you know?
Exactly.
Well,
Any
if
opening into the house, the bad
it
boogeyman can come in.
if it's flesh and blood, there's going to be a 12 gauge waiting for it.
So my brother has like I don't know if he remembers this. He's 12 now. So I don't know. I want to ask him, but I also don't want to like traumatize him by accident because when he was younger, we lived in this little house that like I grew up in. So he had his own room and it used to be our room, mine and my sister's, and me and my sister used to be kind of weirded out by the closet. There was this like well, I guess not. So this is something crazy that you guys are going to be like, "What the heck?" Because I promise you, I remember vividly there being like an opening to the attic, you know, like in that specific room. It was in the closet, in the very top, and that was just how I remembered it, right? So I could swear to you, like, still, even if I hadn't seen from my own eyes or with my own eyes. Well, one day before my mom ended up moving out of this house, I had looked because I was like, it was really creepy. And what I'm about to tell you about my brother, it goes along with this. And that's why I still remembered it because I was like, this is super weird. Turns out there's no hatch in that room at all. And that's freaking weird. But also, my little brother used to be afraid of that room too. So he would go around and he would scream like at the top of his lungs when he was like between like 4, 5, maybe younger, possibly like maybe 3, but scream at the top of his lungs and freak out, pointing at the closet, and he would call it the haku, and scream like scared, and turns out there's nothing, there's nothing there, and that kind of gives me a little bit of the like heebie-jeebies because, like I said, I could have sworn that there was a hatch in there, like to our attic.
Yeah,
There's just nothing there.
that's
Hmm.
that.
Hate
That
it.
is strange.
It's so weird.
And the fact that your brother
Yeah.
might and the fact that your brother seems to have either seen something in there and even gave it a name.
Yes. I want to ask him about it. Be like, do you remember the haku?
And what
If
an
you
interesting name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do ask him, let us know.
I will, because I could text
Yeah.
him after the show. I will definitely, and then I'll message you guys. Be like, so guess what? I'll come back and tell everybody about it. To be continued.
Whenever Cece comes back and we have you back on there, if you've heard anything by then from your brother, yeah, we will definitely talk about it when we have you back on here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Keep that question in mind because I will have answers.
um. Okay. What kind of horror movie guilty pleasure? Like what really bad horror movie do you just love?
So I don't really have like a favorite. So because I grew up on so many, I love a lot of horror movies. But I don't know why it keeps coming to mind because I wouldn't I guess consider this a bad movie, but like The Grudge, it keeps coming to mind anytime that question comes up. I'm just like, Is that the one? So probably that. I wouldn't
The
consider it
Gr-
bad
Yeah,
though.
no, I wouldn't either. The Grudge is.
Great, but that's the one.
Japanese are scary as hell.
They
The
are
Japanese
100%.
stories, yeah, yeah, very much so.
The Grudge was the very first horror movie I watched, and I was 5 years old when I watched it because
Oh
a
my gosh.
family member decided they were going to leave it on in the TV.
Oh my gosh. And then you loved it ever since.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I just sat there on the couch and watched it, and no one even noticed what I was watching until the very end.
So I have this really bad habit of like when people ask me questions, my mind goes blank. So I don't know why I can't think of any other movies. But that's what happened. I was like, this is the one. We're gonna stick with it. But I love that movie, so that wasn't like a hating on that movie. That movie's amazing. That's actually, you know how I told you guys about the me and my uncle and my dad and my sister and my uncle were the ones scared. That's the movie we were watching. That was it.
Well, my first horror movie, God, and it was a double feature. Oh my God. Um, so I think it was in 1975 because, drive-ins wait a long time before they get copies of the movies. So the first one of the double feature was this awful movie called It's Alive. And it's about this woman that gives birth to this monster, and as soon as it comes out, it starts killing things.
Oh no.
And then, so that was pretty brutal. And then the second one was Orca. And I don't know how many people have seen that, but that's a scary movie too, because that is a smart damn whale.
I haven't seen it, but I've definitely heard of it. I'm actually obsessed with killer whales, so I kind of want to see it really bad.
after
You
after
should.
the show, I'm now gonna sit there and binge watch both of those movies if they're on YouTube.
I don't know if they are. I mean, It's Alive was pretty bad. I mean, I've seen it since again, and it's pretty cheesy. But Orca, I think, still stands the test of time. So I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you.
I'm
Um,
sure. I'm sure someone's posted them on the internet somewhere. I'm sure I'll find them.
yeah, yeah. So we have 2 new people in chat. We have Megan Bratton. I hope that's how she says her last name. And Horror Symphony.
Hey, Horace.
Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. And don't forget, chat, you guys can ask questions too.
Yes, if y'all have any questions for Queen of Panic, message me, Filia, or send it to the Nevermore Collective here. We'll see it in the chat.
Right, exactly. Because we do read chat too. Okay, so what do you have coming up? Got anything, any collabs or anything coming up?
So
What
I
are you
have
working on?
so many collabs coming up. So, as you guys may have seen, and I'm sure I've talked to probably everybody, or it's been on Twitter, but I've got a surgery coming up in 3 days. So I
Yes.
went ahead and I pre-recorded 28 videos, and most of them are collabs. So let me hold on. I am on my computer, so I can tell you.
Cool.
So
That's
I
a
Dang.
have.
really smart way to do it.
Yeah, because I didn't want my channel
Exactly.
to suffer. I wanted, because I'm gonna be out for quite a while. It's gonna be at least 3 months before I can sit down, and sit that long to record. So I recorded for 3 months. I was prepared.
I'm not going to tell them what the surgery is, but if you want to,
Oh, I don't mind.
you can
It's
go.
a good surgery. Everybody gets worried when I say that, but it's literally I'm getting a Brazilian butt lift. I'm getting a booty. And I'm very scared, honestly. I'm excited more than anything, but I've never had any surgeries before ever.
And you start
And
with that.
I
Oh my
start with
goodness.
that. But how I view it, it's the biggest one, like the worst one, first. Get it over with.
Yeah, tummy tucks are pretty brutal. Liposuction. I don't know if I told you this last time. I used to when I was becoming a surgical technician, uh, we are part of the sterile team in surgery. We're the ones that handle all of the instruments and the needles with the suture and all that stuff. We keep all of that stuff counted and everything.
Yeah.
And so when I was doing my internship, I was at a plastic surgeon's office. So butt lifts, um, orthoscopic, not orthoscopic, but they use a little camera for forehead lifts, boobs. Oh my God, so many boobs. This guy was known as like the boob doctor of Scottsdale.
That's the other one.
He was like a
not right now though. I'm gonna wait, but it's
no,
just those
you have to
two.
have something to lay down on.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, you should just do it all at once, get it over with. I'm like, where do you think I'm gonna lay? And not to mention, if you lay on something like that's healing like that, it could heal badly. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm
Exactly.
gonna one at a time.
Exactly.
But that's the only ones I want. So if everybody's like, no, you don't get like crazy plastic surgery. I'm like, I just want those, the two, and then I'll be done. I promise, everything's fine.
Well, I'm impressed that you have recorded so far in advance. But I happen to know there's one person in the chat that already has Christmas recorded.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yep.
I love that for them. Honestly, sounds
Who-
great.
I mean, that's only if the person wants to, if the person wants to say who they are, then that's them. I'm not gonna. But I mean, he's I think definitely a type A personality.
I definitely need to start doing that. Holy crap! I haven't been able to record a video in a long time.
Look in chat.
And
I knew it.
I figured out who it was.
Same. I was like, I knew it.
Right?
I knew
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's so together, and he's just. I love Scary. He's a great guy, and he has his shit together, and it's like, you know what? I'm in my 50s and I don't have my shit together, and this guy is just,
This dude
he's
has
got
everything.
stuff ready all the way for Christmas, and I have a couple of things sitting on my computer that I have to edit. They've been there for over a year. I have to edit them. I'm almost like, hey, dude, hey, Scary, would you edit these for me and make me a video? I wouldn't do that. I would, yeah.
This dude has everything ready up until Christmas, and I'm over here haven't been able to record for 3 months because of life, and I still have stuff to record.
Right.
It's okay. You got this. You got this.
Well, my studio is out in the garage, and I have an apartment there is an apartment attached to our garage, but it's not fully formed. But anyway, it has been so cold up here because I live in the high desert that it's like 40 degrees average every day in there. And I have to record at night because I live on the main street of my town. So all of the paramedics, all of the ambulances, all of the fire trucks, the cops, they drive up and down past my house. So I have to record at like 3 o'clock in the morning because that is the quietest time. And it's really freaking cold in there, even with heaters. So, yeah, that's my excuse.
We need to. We just need to start sending you quilts up there.
I agree. I agree.
Right, wearing hats. I've got gloves on. I've got quilts on. I've got my hats over the top of my headset.
Hello.
There was actually.
Hello, Moon. Welcome to the chat.
Yeah, welcome. But there was one time this winter that's when I quit going out there. Is my microphone didn't sound right because it was so cold. Because I have a condenser mic, and it was so cold that it was sounding funny. And I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm taking this crap in the house with the intention, of course, recording or you know, editing all of those videos. That's what I was going to do. Okay, so let's get a little silly here. These are my favorite questions, anyways. Do you have any phobias?
Yes. Okay, so my I'm claustrophobic. So that's really, and I'm afraid of heights actually also. But like the claustrophobia one, my biggest fear is being buried alive. So like when I see, like, even in a movie, if like say the person, cuz horror movies, gets buried alive and they're in the coffin, or I also seen one, I was watching Scream the TV show, and I seen this girl got locked in like a freezer. I get like the heebie-jeebies just looking at it. That's how bad it is. I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
I have a story about that if you guys want to hear like a little darker like a
Absolutely.
darker story. So it's
Yeah.
messed up, and I want to warn you ahead of time.
Go
But
right
my
on ahead.
so my mom was like abusive, right? So my mom was like verbally, mentally, and at one point physically abusive. And so we lived in this house, and the reason I'm claustrophobic, and this is the root of it all, it started here. My mom used to lock us in our bedroom, and we had those you guys know the glass doorknobs?
Hmm.
So we
Yeah.
had those,
Yeah.
and in that house they'd fall off all the time, which is fine if you have a normal family. So she would like slam the door when she would like say goodnight to us, and the doorknob on our side would fall off. And instead of letting us out of the house, out of the room, no matter how much we would like yell and try to like get her to open the door, because at first we really didn't notice, it would just fall off, and like little kids are like, oh, the doorknob's off, what do we do? Instead of opening it, she just wouldn't. So eventually it became a problem where like I would get up and like bang on the door and try to get the door open, and she would either A, come in and yell at me to go to bed and like slam it again and not fix it, so like there was no getting out of it, or she would just not answer until morning. And then she would let
You
us
guys
out of
had
the
to go to
room.
the bathroom.
It was too bad. Too bad.
Oh,
Yeah, and then my
that's just
grandma,
rude.
yeah, my poor grandma had no idea because we were honestly pretty scared of our mom, so we didn't say anything. But when she would babysit, that would happen, and she did not keep us locked in there. She would come on and be like, "What's wrong? Like, what is going on?" Because I'm freaking out. And she would open the door and like crack it, and then eventually it came to the point where she wouldn't even close it. She would just leave it cracked as long as we went to sleep, and it was fine. Like everything was cool. But yeah, my mom, sometimes honestly, I think that she left. I don't even think she was there sometimes, because we'd be banging on the door, yelling for her, and never would she answer. So I think that she left the house sometimes. There's no way that she just, I mean, you'd hope at least that there's no way that she would just leave it like that, knowing that we're freaking out as hard.
Wow. Wow. I guess that
Dang.
makes
So
sense.
I was like, it's a little dark, but it's okay.
Wendigo, do you have any questions?
Oh, I was gonna read the chat real quick.
Oh.
Megan says, can confirm her mom was / is crazy LMAO.
Yeah. That's my babe. So
And
yeah.
as far as questions, if you were a fictional horror movie killer, who would it be and why? And who would be your first victim? You can be anyone, and your victim can be anyone except for anything political.
So this is gonna I feel like I say these things often, and it's 100% my personality, and I'm halfway joking. But you guys are gonna be like, oh, okay.
Only halfway. Only halfway.
But as you heard about my mom, to be completely fucking honest, my mom would be my victim 100%. Because of the things she put us through. 100%. Because I don't really have any problems with anyone else. I genuinely, like, me and like the people that I care about, I mean, obviously you fight with people, it's not a big deal, like it happens. You can't be like around someone all the time and like always get along with everyone. So we're all good, but my mom though can catch these hands. Sorry, can I say that? But I don't know. So I've always been obsessed with like vampires. So the first thought that I ever thought of, which is not like a serial killer, it's not, I mean, I guess they are technically, but like not technically, you know. But my first thought was like, I would 100% find a vampire and change into one, you know. But I guess if
Change
we're talking
everyone
like,
good.
yeah. But if we're talking about like serial killers, I watched Leatherface, his origin story, yesterday, and I would chainsaw my mom.
Wow.
Sorry.
Can I assume that you don't have a lot of contact with her anymore?
Oh no, we do not talk anymore.
Okay.
So
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
you're like,
I was
should we be
gonna-
worried?
I was gonna say I hope she doesn't watch this.
Oh no, we don't talk. The most contact we have is because my brother's 12, so he's not able to talk to me without, you know, my mom giving permission. But aside from that, and she knows how I feel about her, so if we're being honest, I told you it was gonna get dark. It's fine. I warned you.
I think our previous conversation kind of leads up to this. If your best friend calls you in the middle of the night and says, I need help burying a body, what do you do? And if you do help, what do you take with you?
Oh, so of course I help because I love my best friend. Any of them really, because we have a group of friends, like it's a group of girls that we're like really close. So any of them really, I'll help. But it depends on the situation. Like, how'd she kill him? Can we have a little more detail?
Oh,
it depends. You know, it's all...
ask for more detail.
Yeah, because it depends. I gotta know what to bring by what the mess is.
Okay, well, you know your best friend. Who is she most likely to kill? Don't say your mom.
No,
Don't say your mom.
Honestly, though, I was gonna say her boyfriend, but honestly, probably my mom. All of them hate my mom. All of them, because they've been around, so they've seen how she acts and like how she does things. And to be truthful, probably when we took my brother over to see his dad recently, because I'm not gonna go into detail, but like basically she's been keeping him from his dad for 2 years, so like it's a big problem. And she finally like randomly hit me up. It was the first time I spoke to her in months, and she wanted me to take him there. So me and my two friends did, and the whole time my friend was like, "Dude, I'm gonna bury your mom." This dumb, like it was like going off because of the situation. Really, it's because like you could do whatever you want to me, but my poor brother hasn't seen his dad in so long, and like their relationship is basically non-existent because of her. So she's just like, "Screw your mom," like I hate her, going off. So. Probably still my mom, which is
Wow.
kind of crazy.
Hey.
But if that tells you anything about how she acts, I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay, funny.
It tells me more about you, actually, how you managed to survive and be a functioning human.
My husband says this all the time. He's surprised because a little bit about like my family life. Again, I'm not going to go into detail because this is completely her business, but like my sister got into drug addiction because of the way like my mom did things, and like she's good and sober now, and I'm so freaking proud of her. So everything's fine, but like for a long time, a lot of things were going completely like crazy and wrong, and I don't know how I did it because I didn't get into drugs, I didn't get into anything. I was just raw dogging it, you know? I don't know.
You were just flying by the seat of your pants.
For real. But I did it. We made
Yeah.
it, you know? I'm a functioning adult, I guess.
Well,
Can anyone really can anyone really say they're a functioning adult? I honestly
enough.
don't
No.
think so.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here's an interesting question. Okay. If you could have 5 horror characters, it doesn't matter if it's a director, a writer, a character, anything in the horror genre, any person in the horror genre, if you could have them to a dinner party, what 5 characters would you invite?
And what would you make for them?
Oh,
Oh
see, that
yeah.
depends also. So let me think about it because it really depends on your audience. Like who's coming, you know?
That's up to
Wow.
you. Who's
Yeah.
coming?
So 5 people. So from any genre, I think I would have to invite Michael Myers because I would have to tell my dad, big haha, because he's obsessed with him. But also from like the true crime aspect, I would love to speak to like I don't know who exactly, but like a serial killer. I would like to sit down and pick their brain. Like I've watched a lot of different documentaries, and honestly, Ed Gein seemed to be super smart and educated. And I would just love to like talk to them. And depending on who, it's such a hard one because the horror genre is so big. um,
It is.
because it could be
It
fictional
is.
people too. So I'm just like, so it doesn't have to be real. So like, probably some real life like at least a serial killer from like real life. But then also, I kind of would love to talk to. Well, I'd probably die, but like, Freddy Krueger would be pretty cool to have a conversation with, if he wouldn't kill me. That is.
Freddie,
Um,
No, it's bad form to kill your host.
I
yeah.
I would say out of between Freddie and Michael, Freddie would be less likely to kill you than Michael. Michael would
That's
probably just
true.
toy. Michael
Yeah.
Michael is just like, whatever. Freddie
That's
would probably
true.
just toy with everyone.
That is true. I
Does anybody
ooh,
have a knife? Oh, I've got 5 right here.
literally, like you need to cut like the hammer. You know what? I don't know. And then depending on
Right.
who else? Because that would be technically 3, I suppose.
Yeah.
I would personally like Edgar Allan Poe
Oh my
or
gosh, yes.
Vincent Price, H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about like I know you said that like writers and stuff too, but my brain didn't even go
Mhm.
there. But yeah, I love Edgar Allan Poe, and this is gonna show you how like because I'm not like I'm 28, so it'll tell you my age. But I was in middle school when I was reading Edgar Allan Poe and like really learning about him, and
Mhm.
let's just say I excelled in that class because I really enjoyed him. But I would really
I
yeah
had to
I would
do
like
an oral presentation on him, and got perfect score on it. He's
very nice.
unique. He's a unique person.
Yeah, absolutely, and a great writer. But
Mhm.
so depending on who else, it would like for the food, if I invited somebody that was like cannibal, I'm not above giving them some brains, you know? It just depends.
Oh, okay.
It depends, you
Wonderful
know? It
that just
depends.
showed up.
Exactly. So that's funny. I was actually going to say him at first and I was like, let me think about it. But he was one of the first people that came to mind. But yeah, I would give him,
Very
or like Jeffrey
sophisticated
Dahmer.
mind. See, I
Yeah.
don't. Jeffrey's okay. Hannibal Lecter, the way he was written, he's so smart, so sophisticated, and manners are very important to him.
That is very true. And at a dinner party where you don't want to die with
Right.
some people that might kill you, be a good idea.
Right. Exactly. That's cool.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now that we've sorted that out, on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you, and what makes you weird?
um,
This one is going to take
I
half an hour to answer.
no, I probably am like I would say like a 10. Like I'm pretty weird and out there like in my day-to-day life. And our whole friend group is really weird and I don't realize how weird we are until we're with like other people that don't know us and they're like what is going on? So probably a 10.
Wow.
We just because
Okay.
we're all very open book like, so we say whatever comes to mind, and we're weird. So it's a lot of weird stuff sometimes.
And you have a new, not a new friend, but I have another friend in chat.
Hey,
Silver
Silver.
slumbers.
Okay, you've got to have a question. Wendigo.
Yes. So, if you were killed by a monster, of your choice, what would that monster be?
Like permanent death?
Yes.
uh,
Yes, I can't come back from.
yeah, right. Like, no, not vampires, right?
I mean,
um,
if you consider the vampire just killing you and not letting you come back, so that could be a possibility too.
no, because all right. So we talked about Freddy earlier, but I love like the dreamscapes. So if I'm gonna die, I want something trippy and cool to look at.
Mm.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
It better be fun, you know.
Oh, look, pretty lights.
In like a
If
perfect.
you
So this is
go ahead.
definitely. I know you didn't ask this, but just like on that topic. So I was thinking about like questions that you guys might ask me. So I came up with this answer, so I'm gonna tell you guys anyway. So if you, because I seen that you commented in the Discord and you said you asked someone how they would prefer to die, right? So I was like,
That
I'm gonna
is
be prepared. Okay.
that is a question that we do have prepared for you.
Oh, well then I'll answer
Actually,
it.
yeah. Okay.
So let me go and find it real quick. It's in here somewhere.
Okay, I have it. It's on the top of my head. But first, who would you want? Who would you want to read your eulogy? And it could be anybody, any character, real or not, anybody.
And
So
who would you want to write it?
all right. So you guys are probably expecting a really fun, like crazy answer, but I gotta do my husband right and give him that, okay? I gotta give
Oh,
it to
okay.
him because he would be so sad if I didn't let him do those things. So yes, my husband would be doing those.
So he would both
Oh,
be
you know,
right.
really cool?
He'd
Both,
both be
yeah, writing
okay.
and reading. Yeah.
I like it.
You know, it would be really cool though. Have him dressed up like Papa Legba from
That would
the
be fun.
from Voodoo with the top hat and stuff. That would be so cool.
That would be.
I want that at my funeral.
Oh,
So
that's a good one.
my dad always joked that like when he it's not a joke, he means it, but when he dies he wants somebody to dress up as the Grim Reaper. And so I was like, well, if you die first, then I will do it and vice versa. It better be mutual. So we will have Grim Reapers at our funeral.
Okay. So the question that
Now for
he was up for, you have been a very bad girl, and you are in Grave Matters jail, and you're scheduled to be executed. So this is a multi-part. What did you do to get the death penalty? What's your last meal? And how do you want to die?
All right.
Matter of
So
execution.
for the what did I do? I'm honestly really like tame and like not innocent by any means, but like on the like scheme of people probably on the more like I guess innocent side. So if I was going to do anything crazy that got me into jail, it would go back to my mom. Because I wouldn't really I'm very level-headed. I am very like calm. I've gone through like a lot of stuff. Like I said, my sister was a drug addict, and like it wasn't just her, it was like our whole friend group that got into it. And I was like the only sober one. So I went through a lot of like traumatic things where I used to freak out and like be over emotional. And now because of the things I've gone through, I'm really calm. So I don't see myself doing anything except maybe like not actually, but let me disclosure, not really. But if it was gonna happen, it would definitely be because of how she treats my brother and like how that situation happens, because that's the only thing that gets me really angry to the point where I get like I'll be shaking so mad, but I don't get like that for anything else. So it would probably go back to her. And then my last meal, so I would either want my husband to cook me some pasta because he makes the best, well, he makes the best everything. He's the best cook I've ever had. Like he loves to cook. So either that or like tomorrow, for example, for my birthday, he's making us homemade authentic ramen, and it's all I can think about. So I want to say that also. So
Is he
something
gonna
like
make
that.
the noodles too?
Yes, he makes everything, and it's so good. He's actually
Oh, that
prepping
is
it.
so cool.
Yeah, he's
That is
prepping it right now.
awesome.
So I'm like, yes, give me the ramen. And then
That is really, really cool.
or something, or if I, ever, go on to death row for whatever, I might want something different, but something cooked by him because he's the best cook I've ever had. Like, he makes the best steaks. I didn't like steaks before, and I like them now. So that's how I explain it. Like, I was really picky, didn't like steak because my mom would or my dad would overcook them, and it wasn't good to me. But he makes the best
Oh,
rare
yeah.
steaks. And then the way that I would want to go, so lethal injection is very painful, or so I've heard. I don't know, obviously, but I guess
Yeah.
the best
Go ahead.
way, because I wouldn't want it to be painful. I would want to go to sleep. So some kind of drug, like just drug me up and I'll go to bed.
Okay.
I would never want to get like burned alive, or like I said, I'm claustrophobic, so never in a million years, don't bury me, leave me alone. So
Yeah.
I'll
So
go to
that would
sleep.
probably exclude a gas chamber.
Yeah, I mean maybe no, probably because that would be like you're choking.
That's kind of painful too.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick something more painful, I guess like that would be fine because I wouldn't want to drown either. That would be terrible.
Right.
So I guess gas
I like
chamber.
the guillotine.
Oh my
No,
god,
I
yeah,
like
maybe.
guillotine.
Do it 1, 2, 3, go. Or I guess like shoot me but
Right.
fatally. Something like quick. I don't want it to be
No, I get
prolonged.
it. Well, I get it. I understand that. When people have so much pain in their life already, their relief, their exit, most of them want to be painless.
Yeah.
Sleeping is so yeah, sleeping. You want to be asleep in the car that your grandfather's driving at 90 miles an hour down the freeway.
Yeah. For real. It's just something quick.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. What is your favorite sound or noise?
I like a lot of like ambient like musics, or I don't know, I like when my husky howls. She's so cute. But are we talking like spooky sounds?
No, just whatever is your favorite sound or
So
noise.
the
I mean,
thing
it
that
could be rain on a tin roof. I don't know.
so yeah, that would be a good one. So I think the thing that like came to mind for that, I love, like I said, we love to go urban exploration. I love the sound of like a forest, or like you said, like light rain, or like paired with like the smell of the forest on a night, like nighttime walk. So like the
Cool.
sound of like the bugs, and like you really don't hear birds and stuff during the nighttime like flying around, but like if you hear birds, like that kind of thing, but like paired with the scent and the like visuals of
Right.
the nighttime. It
I
gives
get
me
that because the forest is never silent.
never.
But if it ever is,
Exactly.
fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. Get out.
Go
Gotta go.
face. Right. Okay, that's cool. Would you rather have a tail, whatever kind of tail you want, or lose a leg?
Have a tail. Have a
That's what I
tail,
picked too.
100%. Like maybe a foxtail.
Woo. I think a
Something
monkey tail.
fluffy. Or a monkey
It's
tail.
prehensile. You can. It's useful. I mean, if I'm gonna have this thing, it's useful.
That's fair. You know what?
Hey, that way you could like video yourself, and your tail can hold the camera and stuff. It'd be so much better.
That would be good. It's like a hand,
So,
Okay.
do you prefer to be the hero or the villain in a story?
The villain. I feel like the things that I've gone through in life really give me the range of like emotions that I am able to feel and control. and I definitely prefer to be the villain. I always joke that I'm in my villain arc right now. After everything, this is my villain era.
Sorry, I was typing.
Okay.
I wasn't ignoring you. I was just typing.
It's okay.
Um. Okay. Oh, we haven't asked this one in a long time. Um. Our friend Derringer gives us so many good questions, and also patient. Oh, I asked you that one already. Uh, sorry, we asked you that the other day. Um. But he gives some great questions. So you've got taco bar, and it has got every possible conceivable topping for tacos. Anything you can imagine, it's there. What do you stuff your tacos with?
So this is gonna disappoint so many people, but I got tacos today actually, but I love a good steak taco with just cheese, lettuce or cheese, tomato, and lettuce. And it's so good, and the steak is delicious, and I don't want too much on it because I wanna taste the meat and everything in it. But the one thing
Right.
I would probably add to it if I could, I love hot Cheetos also. So just put a little hot Cheetos and then we'll be good.
But you want whole Cheetos? You want like Cheeto dust?
Ooh, probably Cheeto dust because it would be easier to mix with the meat, but either one really. I'm fine with both.
Or you could crush up some Cheetos and sprinkle it in with the meat and mix it in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Many years ago, I used to have this group of friends that they were really big into. We used to call it fandom, which would be sci-fi and horror, and we would go to conventions and stuff. But it was this collection of really smart people. We had authors, we had astronomers, um, you know, astrophysicists. I mean, really smart people. And one of them described the dust on Cheetos as a specific chemical compound, and he used it to coat the outside of his spacecraft. It was the protective coating, and he called it Cheetite. So
I
there's
love it.
someone's book, there is a spaceship coated in Cheetite.
That's awesome.
That is the weirdest but yet coolest thing I've ever heard.
Right? I don't know how I managed to be part of that group, honestly. And I was pretty young too. I was in my mid. I was 28 when I met these people. And again, I don't know why I was in a group because they were all so much smarter than me. But I loved this. Every Friday night, they'd have like a salon where you go over and there'd be beverages and you could sit and talk. And there's, a fire outside in the fire pit. It was just the conversations that these people had. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
So, if you were to redo a classic story, how would you improve on it, and what story would it be?
Oof, I have honestly no idea. So when you say classic story, what do you mean? Like, give me examples.
Like a classic creepypasta, like
Okay.
Jeff Jeff the Killer, Slender Man, Smile Dog, stuff like that.
See, that is so not where I went with that.
Yeah, um. So
I
I
went to the grim
honestly,
fairy tales.
You could do those too. I will allow that.
so for this time at least, I would like to get back to you on that just because I don't know. I would need to freshen up a little bit on those, and I will absolutely do that before we get on to like the podcast again. I promise I'll do that.
That
I'll do
is
some research.
That is completely fine. I completely understand that. That was kind of
Because
an out of the blue question.
no, and that's okay. I just was like, I don't know. Just kind of
that,
like,
that
oh.
that's completely
We need to
fine.
add that to the questions. We need to add that.
That one's already in there. That's where I read it from.
Oh, see, we read off of two different question lists.
I have an
Did you know that?
improved. I have an improved one. I thought I sent you the copy.
I don't know.
I'll
I
I'll re
a
I'll
lot of my
resend it to you
questions come
after.
from
Yeah,
the other show.
I'll resend this one
Okay,
to you afterwards.
so unfortunately, it is about that time.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions for us?
I do not. I've had so much fun. Unless you guys want to answer the question that I asked PA last time. Well, I asked you guys all. But how did you guys start this podcast? Like, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, and we were going to tell you about that after the show.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I forgot. We were going to do that. Because this show and the other show were birthed about the same time.
Oh, okay. Got you.
It's a quarter to orange already. You're so
Bad.
So yeah, after the show, I will tell you what
Okay.
happened. So do you want to say your goodbyes, and then Wendigo, you can do yours, and I'll close us out.
All right.
You guys want me to say a little goodbye? Is that what you're saying? Like me too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming on and getting to know me a little bit. You guys got some juicy stuff here. Thank you so much. It was good talking to you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. I just kind of paused. Sorry. That was
You're
it though.
fine.
I just thought the needle skipped the groove is all.
Oh,
I don't even know if you understand what I just said.
I do. Yeah, we actually have a record player, if that's what you're referring to.
That is exactly what I was referring to.
I'm really bad at outros,
Okay.
if you can't tell. I have it because I don't do my stuff live, so I'm just like, yeah. But yeah, come check out the Panic Within.
So,
So,
why-
oh,
I
What-
was gonna. Go ahead.
I was gonna thank you, Queen of Panic, for joining us tonight. It was really fun having you on here, and I cannot wait to re-interview you sometime in the future.
It might have to wait until after the surgery, so just bear with me because I will be healing for like a couple months before I can sit down.
That is completely fine. That gives everyone enough time to get everything settled up.
Perfect.
I would like to thank everyone in the chat for joining us. It is really fun to always have y'all show up. Filia, thank you for being with me on here. And Raven, thank you for letting us borrow you for a little while.
And-
Okay. I just put your YouTube in there, and I didn't even I didn't even tell them what it is. That last post from me, everybody, that's her YouTube account. Okay. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for showing up, all of you. It's always wonderful when we have lots of people. Don't forget to tap the like button before you leave. Raven, as always, thank you so much. And Queenie Pooh, it was so fun. So much
Thank
fun.
you. Thank you for having me.
And Wendigo, thank you for being here. And from all of us at Grave Matters, including Cece, who again can't be here right now. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share the, tweet about us. And once you join the collective, you can leave Nevermore.